Writer, let's talk a little bit about writer's block, shall we? So, writer's block is the term that we use when we talk about that stoppage in the flow of your writing when you sit down to your computer or your pad of paper with your pen and you cannot get the words to come out. You stare at the blank screen, or perhaps it's even the experience of not being able to sit down at all, like this resistance to sitting down at the computer or with your notebook. And we talk about in the Narrative Project 4 pillars to successful completion that you need to put in place in order to complete a book. And I believe that these 4 pillars are very, very supportive in breaking through writer's block, even if what you're working on is a college paper, for example, or it is a short story. It doesn't have to be a book per se, but these 4 pillars really help writers push through the resistance. So I'm going to tell you what they are, and then I want to talk about the first one and give you an exercise to help you really dig into this first tool for breaking through writer's block. So here are the 4 pillars for successful completion as I teach them. First of all, it is taking a stand for the story that you want to tell. So stand is the first one. The second is skills building. You do have to have skills in order to do a thing. So whether you want to rebuild an old car or, as I'm doing right now, build a yurt, you've got to develop some skills to be able to do the thing or hire somebody who has some skills. Number 3 is you need structure. You're going to need structure in your life and in your material. So without structure, you're not going to be able to get a thing done. And the final thing, the final pillar that you need to put in place in order to complete something, a book, any other kind of project, is support and accountability. We're going to talk about all of them, but I want to start with the first one with the very first S. They're all S's. And I want to give you a tool that you can use to help really dig into this, taking a stand. So it's one thing to have a story in mind, right? Like you've got a storyline, maybe from your own life because you're writing a memoir or want to write a memoir. Or maybe you have characters talking to you, or it's your mother's story. But in any case, you have a plot line in mind. That's fantastic. And that's the first thing that you need. You might even have your theme in mind, what you want to explore, forgiveness, love, speaking your mind, whatever the theme is that you think you'll be exploring in this plot. Okay. But do you know your deep personal why? Do you know why it's important to you to write this book? Do you know for what you are taking a stand? Knowing this can get you to the keyboard and get the words, messy, crappy first draft words flowing. Whereas if you don't know what your stand is, you won't know why you must sit down at the keyboard. So here's the exercise I want to give you. I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to number 1 to 10 on this piece of paper. And after each numeral, I want you to write the sentence stem, I am taking a stand for. And then I want you to fill it in. I want you to push to get to 10. 15 would even be better if you can get to 15. You might start out with, I'm taking a stand for my right to spend time doing my art. That's fantastic. What else are you taking a stand for? Number 2, I'm taking a stand for, maybe this one delves into the content of your material. I'm taking a stand for people who lost their voice in childhood to gain their voice back. Great. What else are you taking a stand for? I'm taking a stand for finally calling myself a writer after all these years of wanting to. Yeah, that's a good one. Write it down. What's next? What else are you taking a stand for? And when you reach the limit, when you reach the point where you're like, I don't know, I can't think of anything else, push a little harder. Let's go deep. Let's find out why you absolutely have to write this book. And if you know why, that's the first pillar put in place for successful completion and breaking through writer's block. Give it a try.